Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are finishing Love on the Spectrum Season 4, Episodes 5 through 7. So we're finally getting through Season 4 Love on the Spectrum, and it was a really good season. And so before I get started, I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Hope everybody has a blessed Easter with family, friends, and worship today in church and stuff and everything. I know I did. So yeah. So anyway, let's get started and finish off Love on the Spectrum. The first couple I want to talk is I want to start with Emma. So Emma went on this date with this guy named Eric. Last time we talked, and now they're getting ready for another date. They went out to this. I don't know. It just seems like every time Emma and Eric go on a date, just always some weird stuff is happening. The first time when they went on the date, they had all that wind blowing. This time they on a date and they had a bunch of like ducks and stuff. I forget where they were at, but they had a bunch of ducks and peacocks and all that stuff around them, just making noises and stuff and everything. Emma and Eric were just trying to have a conversation and everything, and then all you kept on hearing is just meh, 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 like every 5 seconds from one of them ducks and peacocks. It was actually kind of annoying, in my opinion. I'm surprised that they didn't get annoyed with that, because I do know people, I do know like a good bit of people who are on the autism spectrum. Like noises like that, like really triggers them and everything. So I'm glad it didn't affect them, but it affected me because I just thought that was so annoying. It's just like that. I don't know Emma and Eric. That was like for both dates. Either the wind was blowing and you got all them ducks interrupting you. I don't know. I don't know if that's the universe or God telling you something. I don't know. Sorry. But, they go on another date and, they just talking. They asked about like, do you want a family one day? Do you want to get married and have kids one day? And they both said yes and everything. Still like a little awkward between them. There's still not like a full blown spark with them and everything. But at the end of the day, they asked for a kiss and they got it. Like I think that was Emma's first kiss and everything. And yeah, they shared a really nice little passionate kiss, and I'm happy with all the people who are on the season getting their first kiss and everything. It's really nice to see. So yeah, Emma, she's really quirky and funny and stuff and everything, but she still has yet to find that like spark. So I hope she gets another season. So yeah, that was Emma. Next person I want to talk is Dylan. So remember, Dylan went on a date at a ranch with this girl named Caroline. Now, when we when we seen Dylan, he was getting ready to go on another date with Caroline, but she called him and said that she really just wants to be friends with him. She don't feel like a romantic connection with him. She said that she wished that she would have told him sooner. She said she has a habit of just basically holding stuff in like that and everything. And y'all should have seen his face. Dylan was just so like that broke his heart and everything. And I felt so bad. Like I felt really bad for him and everything. So I mean, I appreciated her honesty. And if you don't feel a spark, you don't feel a spark. But man, but still, I've always said this: no matter how you sugarcoat it, rejection it sucks. It just does. Rejection sucks. So Caroline, just asked for him to be friends. So later we see Dylan get ready to get, and they set him up for another date. He goes to this amusement park, and he meets up with this girl named Melissa. And Melissa, it's interesting. They're both they're both coming from. I think she was Mexican, and he's from Guatemala, and his dad is well, his mom is Guatemalan, and his dad I think was Argentina, and stuff, and she's Mexican. So they have the Spanish vibes in them and stuff and everything. So they go to the amusement park and meet up with this girl named Melissa. They hit it off pretty well. They walk around the park and everything. Then they even got a painting done of them and everything. And then they connected on how, they're both of their moms are single mothers and everything, and just wanting similar things in life and everything. It was it this I felt like this connection was a little bit better than his date with Caroline. I think it was more genuine, that they can relate more on things and stuff and everything, and it really was a beautiful date. That's all I got to say with that. So yeah, that was Dylan. Next couple I want to talk is James and Shelley. Oh man, James. So James and Shelley, they're actually went out house hunting, basically. They're trying to look and get their own place and stuff, and just like he's finally ready to leave the nest, leave his parents' house. We seen him get into an argument with his dad about leaving and everything, and but I mean, he feels like he's ready. He's ready. So him and Shelly are actually out house hunting. They go to this one house, and it was like in the middle of this, basically right on a busy road. And this house was not good. It needed fresh paint. Didn't have fresh paint. James had issues with it being very carpeted and stuff and everything. The house had a really nice bathroom, but it was only one bathroom. And then they went to the freaking basement, and the basement was just like tore up, and the foundation was just like, why would you show a house when it's really not finished? Like, why? I don't understand. I'm not an expert on real estate, but why would you list a house and show a house when it has a lot of work to be done? Don't show a house until you finish all the repairs and all the renovations into the house, because now when you come in, you're not gonna sell. You're not gonna sell if you're gonna show a house that looks like a dump. That house looked like a dump, in my opinion. So James was just like, and then plus he wants LED lighting too. So James and Shelley were just like, no, not this house. Plus it's on a busy road too. No. So then they go to another house, and the other house was a lot nicer. It was a little bit bigger and stuff and everything, and it was what they wanted, so they applied for it. Unfortunately, they didn't get it. They were disappointed, but they kudos to them for trying. So after they went house hunting, they actually took a trip to Cape Cod to go out to the beach and go to a hotel and go to the beach and everything. James still loves to talk and everything, and Shelly can't get a word in, but that's my only thing with James. But yeah, they went to Cape Cod. They went to the beach. Chilled out on the beach and swam in the ocean a little bit, and then James, Shelly thought that James pushed her into the water or something. Like, she got a little freaked out and everything. He was like, "Oh no, Shelly, I would never do that to you. I'm so sorry. I would never do that to you." And then they just started making out in the ocean and stuff and everything. It was really cute, really cute. So yeah, that was James and Shelly. Next couple I want to talk is Georgie and Connor. So, and the last time I did a video, we talked about, and yeah, I got called out in the comments section when I said not to, but about how I feel like Connor's mom is hot and beautiful, which she is, but she's really great with him. Like, she gives Connor really good advice and everything, and she's like an advocate for him all the time and everything, speaks at all kinds of events. So I like Lise. So in these episodes, Georgie and Connor actually went to the UK to visit, to see Connor's grandfather and everything. And then he took Georgie, and him and Georgie just went all over London. Like, they went to Buckingham's Palace. They went to all kinds of stuff on the street and everything. It just like a nice little tour. They even went to go visit his grandfather, and when they seen his grandfather, I guess the grandfather had mentioned that he was a little bit on the spectrum as well and everything, and the grandfather told Georgia, you could call me Pap if you want to one day, or Granddad if you want to one day, and Connor's face was just like. So Connor and his grandfather like caught up and everything, and then they just started singing this like random song and stuff and everything that that Georgie just found really funny and stuff and everything. And again, it was beautiful. It was another beautiful sight. You know, I like the bond that Connor and his grandfather had and everything, and it was beautiful. Now, after that meeting, Georgie and Connor went back out, you know, sightseeing and everything. And this is where things like kind of take a little bit of a turn. We've seen Connor have a conversation with his mom saying that, you know, like George, they were out to eat, and Georgie likes to make like little snippet jokes and stuff and everything. Connor doesn't always get Georgie's humor and stuff and everything, and like doesn't know all the time when she's being serious and when she's not and stuff and everything. And so they were out to eat, and like Georgie was making some weird jokes and stuff and everything. I didn't, you know, they weren't nothing serious or whatever. And you know, Connor called her out. I was like, you know, Georgie, like I just don't always get your jokes at times, and I don't know if you're being serious or not. And she was like, you know, I'm sorry. You know, my family is just like a really sarcastic family, so like I get it from them, but you know, yeah, I mean no harm. It was like, okay. So again, they still continue to go out sightseeing, and Connor opens up his heart to Georgie, and because they've been together for a year at this point. But you know, remember at the beginning of the season, they had issues with her like being more reserved and backing away and stuff and everything. Now they're having issues with her like just basically not listening, because Connor, they were like having like a little picnic or whatever, and Connor was just like starting to open up his heart and just like, oh, Georgie, this has been a great year. I love you and everything, this, and that. Like, I don't know how to say this, but I love, you know, all that stuff. And Georgie, she wasn't like paying attention. She was just like, oh, look at the bees. Oh, look at that peacock and everything. And Connor's just like really? Like, I'm pouring out my heart and being vulnerable, and you have me think about the bees and the birds and the bees, basically, and everything. So he went back and told his mom that, and you know, like, and that raised some eyebrows and stuff and everything. And I'll do a ending with them later in the video when I wrap up everything. So yeah, so that's the problem that Georgie and Connor have. Is just that like Connor, he's really open and expressive, and Georgie is just not being all that reciprocate to his feelings and not understanding his feelings or his emotions. So yeah, that was Georgie and Connor. Who's next? The next couple I want to talk is, we got to see him on the last episode, which I'll follow into with another couple. We had an Abby and David update. So Abby and David, you know, they're OGs on Love on the Spectrum. They've been together since season 1, episode 1, basically. That they're still together. They're not ready to get married yet. Abby said that, you know, she doesn't want to get married, rush into marriage so quick and get a divorce like her mother. She threw her mother under the bus. She said her mom got divorced really quick and she ain't trying to be like her mother. I'm like, burn, burn, and everything. And then we seen her. She had like an issue with her dog, and she had to clean his rear end and stuff and everything, and she's never had to clean a dog like that and stuff. Kind of interesting. But I tell you what, the Abby, like I've always said this, Abby is one of the biggest success stories out of the show. Her and David's relationship is like one of the best. Abby is just all around. Like she gets to sing. She got to sing the national anthem at an NHL game. She got to be on the Kelly Clarkson show. She got to sing with Kristen Bell. Like Abby is just like wow. Like she's a star now. She is a star. So yeah, that's their update. Now let's talk about Madison and Tyler. So Madison and Tyler, so they're celebrating their 1-year anniversary. Now, we've seen them still in Nashville. Remember, they took that trip to Nashville and going to, like, basically, it's now called a wax museum, where seeing all these musicians and everything. Now they're going to a place where they're going to like all the like the president's home, and I think that this was Andrew Jackson's home. Madison said that she wants to be see like all the president's homes and everything. Well, while she was outside of Andrew Jackson's like heritage or whatever, there was a fan nearby that yelled out, "Hey, Maddie, I love you," and everything. And Madison got really, really triggered from that. She said, my name is not Maddie, it's Madison and everything. She had to take a little minute to step back and stuff and everything. And Tyler was there to comfort her and everything. Madison said, she has to just got to learn how to not react so quickly all the time and everything, take a step back. But she says she doesn't like it when people call her Maddie. It's Madison. And I'm kind of the same way. My name is Nathan. People call me Nate and stuff. It don't bother me, but if they put my name down on something like that I need something important, put my full name down. Don't put Nate on there. Just put it as Nathan. So I see where Madison gets upset with that. So, and they talked about how Tyler has like Asperger's or whatever. He growing up, he had issues writing and stuff, and I guess also learning the birthday song or whatever. But he overcame it and stuff and everything. Him and Madison talked about how they watched Love Island and stuff and everything. And Tyler was like, "Yeah, we watch Love Island, but we're nothing like those people. Like, we don't cuss, and we're nothing about the drama." And I appreciated that. I loved when he said that we're not about that drama. That is good, guys. You guys are not about the drama. So they get back home. Madison and Tyler get back home, and they're officially celebrating they meet up at the spot where they first met the year before, and to celebrate their anniversary and stuff. They brought presents and stuff, and they had like Tyler came up with this little Christmas in July type thing at a park where they had like a mailbox and just like a little Christmas tree in July and stuff, and they opened up their presents and stuff. And Madison opens up like this thing in the mailbox, and she read this letter from Tyler, which was really beautiful. Next thing you know, while she was reading it, Tyler reaches in his back pocket and pulls out this really fancy ring. Madison was just like, "Oh my God, oh 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 my God." Yeah, she says, "Oh my God." Next thing you know, Tyler proposes to her, and it was the most emotional proposals I've ever seen. Madison's crying, Tyler's crying, I'm almost crying. It was emotional. Like, I had never seen Tyler cry before. When the words that came out of his mouth and everything, just asking her to be his wife and everything, it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. Obviously, she said yes, and the next thing you know, she's trying to call everybody. So, yeah. Now, I'll come back to them a little bit, but I'll come back to Madison and Tyler a little bit when I talk about their party. But next couple I do want to talk is Haley and Logan. So, Haley and Logan, Logan's madly in love with Haley. Now she's coming to his house for dinner. Logan, his mom and sister are there to finally meet Haley. Logan actually wants to cook a chicken parmesan for Haley, and so he's trying to get started cooking it. He's really nervous. He really struggles with his words, and sometimes I do too. Sometimes even doing my videos, I struggle with my words. It's one of those things that you have everything planned out what you want to say. Even when you write it down, you have everything that you want to say and everything. But then when you get like on camera or get in that moment, everything just freezes and everything. You just forget every little thing and stuff. So, it's not even just autism. A lot of people have that. And I know I have that a lot. So he had to take a moment after doing the preparations of making the chicken parmesan, and then but he got it cooked, and then he wanted to get his room clean and stuff and everything, and he didn't finish his room on time. So then Haley comes over. She comes over. She had a box of cookies, and she had a thing of cookies already prepared for him, for the family. She comes in and meets the mom and the sister and everything, and they get along great and stuff. Once again, Logan is talking about her hair, how great and straight her hair is and everything. He's telling his parents don't embarrass his mom and sister don't embarrass him with stories and dental stuff and whatever. So they have dinner. They have the chicken parmesan. They said it tasted really good and stuff and everything. And then Logan invited Haley to his bedroom, and Haley was just like, your room's a mess. She done said it was a mess. She said, you're messy. He's like, I know. He was like, I know I'm not usually like this. I just didn't have the time. I don't want you to think I'm a dirty person. I'm a really clean person and stuff. I know how to do this. And she was like, Logan, calm down. I can teach you how to clean your room. It's not a big deal. I can teach you how to clean your room. He's like, thank you. I appreciate it. So after that, then now Logan's going over to Haley's house to meet her mom and everything. And Logan's sister actually had to join them just so he won't embarrass himself, basically. So they go over to Haley's house and meet the mom. He brought the mom flowers and chocolates and everything, and she was really nice, and and he was saying how beautiful Haley is, how much he loves Haley, and how he'll be respectful to Haley, this and that and everything. And then after they had their dinner, Haley took Logan to her room and stuff, and saw all the cool stuff and everything. And they talked about again how dirty his room is. He was like, I could teach you how to clean your room and stuff. So Logan was just like, the typical, oh, I love you, Haley. I want us to be together forever. And she was like, really? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll talk more about that later in the update. So, yeah, that was Logan and Haley. Now, I'm going to circle back to Madison and Tyler. So, after Madison and Tyler got engaged, they threw an engagement party. And Abby, when we seen Abby, she got something in the mail saying, you're invited to Madison and Tyler's engagement party. And Abby just started screaming and called David. And it's just like, Madison got engaged. We're going to their engagement party. Like, oh, yay. So we reached the engagement party and we get a surprise. All the couples from season 3 of Love on the Spectrum showed up. We had Paris and her girlfriend. I keep forgetting her girlfriend's name. The girl, the blind girl, the girl that loves trains, and then that's with the blind girl. I forget her name. We had them return. Of course, Abby and David return. We had remember Danny. She was with Adon, but now Danny's now dating some guy named Henry, who's a cop and stuff. And we had Tanner. Tanner came back. I was wondering about him. He said he's single and ain't really looking. And Connor came, but Connor came alone. So Connor was getting ready to go to Madison and Tyler's engagement party, and when he walked in alone, Madison was like, Connor, where's Georgie? And Connor revealed to us that him and Georgie broke up, unfortunately. I'm sad about that Connor and Georgie broke up, but I'm not surprised because, yeah, like, it was starting to get to that point where it was all him doing the work and her not doing much and everything. So then, so now Paris and her girl, they're still together and going strong. And Abby and David, of course, this was the first time David met Tyler and stuff and everything. So they hit it off pretty well and everything. And you know they had a party and everything. So and then Danny, now Danny, she's another success story from the show because she is like a big like advocate. Like she speaks at all kind of like autism events and stuff and everything. She gave Connor some great advice and everything. Like, you know, like just tell her, you know, she said that love is just not something like how you feel. Basically, it's just something like you have to just keep going on with it and everything. And sometimes it's hard and everything. And he asked her, did you feel like heartbroken when you and Adon broke up? She said, yes. But, you know, you just got to move on. And then she found this guy. And then he even asked her, do you have any tips on kissing? And then so Danny started making out with her boo Henry and stuff and everything. I'm like, dang. Dang. And like I said, Henry's a cop. And so she got herself a cop. And so anything that's possible, no matter what conditions you have or any kind of disabilities or like neurodivergence, you could still be anything you want to be. And these people are prime examples of that. So yeah, Madison, Tyler, you know, Madison's family shared a few words. Madison shared a few words. Tyler shared a few words. It was all emotional. And then it started raining because now they are in Florida. It started raining, so everybody had to like go inside a little bit. And then once the storm cleared out, a rainbow happened. When the rainbow happened, everybody from season 3 came out and looked at the rainbow and started singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland. Everybody, like the whole cast of season 3 was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, like just right over the riverbanks and everything. And it was, again, really beautiful and stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy for Madison and Tyler. I hope they show their wedding on the next season. I guess season 5 has been renewed, so yeah, I really hope that Madison and Tyler's wedding is shown. Yeah, so that was basically it. Now they did do an update on all the couples. So let's start back with Emma. Emma and Eric are still going on, but they're still talking, but still yet to get a spark. Same with Henry and Melissa. They're still talking, but yet to get a spark. Georgie and Connor, they're still friends, but they said they're never going to get back together. And Connor did say on social media that he's leaving the show. He's not returning to the show, unfortunately. Abby and David, of course, are still together. Madison and Tyler obviously are still together, planning their wedding. And James and Shelly, they're still together, still searching for a home. And here was the surprise. Logan and Haley are not together. Haley broke up with him, just told him that she wants to be friends. I kind of seen that coming because I said it from the beginning. I thought that he was out of her league, or she was out of his league. She was out of his league. And like I said, when we first saw Haley, I thought that he was getting set up because I first didn't think she was on the spectrum at first. But yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that like she was ultimately going to just say, let's just be friends to Tyler. And that's sad, but I was pulling for them and he was so happy. I mean, not Tyler, Logan. Haley and Logan. I don't know, I keep saying Tyler. It's Haley and Logan. Haley broke up with Logan and just said that they want to be friends. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I promise you guys I do love on the spectrum, and I did. And yeah, I hope you guys continue to have a really good Easter. I'll be back on later to do 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all again soon. Love you guys. Bye.